My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is February 10th, 2026. It is 1:47 a.m. I have a lot of tweets to share with you. I may not even, I don't know, I may not even record all of them. But I'll try to record them because if I don't, I will never get back to them. Many of them have to do with the royal family, Epstein, and the relationship between the UK and the US with the Epstein file. So I have a couple tweets. The squad are talking about it. I haven't been really, to tell you the truth, online that much because majority of the thing that I'm seeing, it's like I've spoken about them before and how will I say that, conceptual way, but now that I'm seeing the evidence and things, the facts, it's very draining, and I was not too far off of some of my concept of what I thought was happening. Some of the things that I've shared with you in the past since the beginning of my channel. Well, not this one in particular, this one just continue, but PYTE. I'm not surprised by many of them, but the things are very draining and very saddened to see how they have been trying to make this type of behavior somewhat normal. When you look at, for instance, in the US, the gun violence, the mass shooting and things like that, and many of those people in power don't do anything about it. So you could see why many of them, what I mean, you could see why after seeing the evidence, some of the evidence, because all of them are not out, of what's happening with the Epstein file, you could understand now why they don't do pretty much nothing about the gun violence that's been going on in the US. With that being said, I don't want to waste too much time on the intro of what I'm thinking because I could go on and on. Let's go on X. I have these on the list. All right, first one, just to ease in, just in case if I don't get to tackle some of these. All right, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and Sloane Stephens. Alright, that was at the Gala. I just saw this picture. I decided to add it on the list. Okay, beautiful. That's an ad. My gosh, the beauty in that one was staggering. Face card for both gorgeous ladies is on fire. So many gorgeous ladies. We need her to do a skincare drop. Their eyes also similar. I'll go back to the picture to see what you mean by that. Our Duchess and our Sloane. Just beautiful. All my faves were at this event. There was one comment, maybe I should look for it before I get deep into the Epstein thing. Let's see, their eyes are similar. I don't know. Maybe in color, maybe? Just color, but you make your own judgment. There's one, while I'm looking at this, there's one comment, one tweet that I saw I'm gonna add to the list. Okay, I tweeted it out. We, Sussex Squad, know we will have done the exact same thing. There's the laugh here. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, will be placed right next to all of us if we had the option. Alright, so I tweeted this out. I don't know if the comment was black. Yeah, it was blacked. So yeah, it was black. So she tweeted this here. I love that Emma Gred always sit Duchess Meghan right next to her at events she's hosting. There's the heart. Emma setting the name card for a seat at the table dinner and 5% pledge gala, pointing down. They sat together at both events. All right, so pretty much she's saying here every event that she's hosting or she's in control of where everybody sits, so she always makes sure Meghan sits next to her. And I was like, I'm sure we all will be doing the same exact thing. That's pretty much that. So she added this picture here. All right, the Duchess of Sussex and Emma grade, black excellent at its finest. All right, let's take a closer look. They take that thing very seriously. That was before the event. She's placing everybody's name, and then this is during the event that they are here. Meghan was sitting right next to her. There they are here. Okay, so that's that. This is easing you into the real issue that's going on. There's a lot of videos. I'll try not to go too much on the comments. And I think I have one more thing about Meghan. Let me pause for a second. I think it's at the end. I may not even, you know what? Let me get Meghan stuff out of the way just in case you guys don't want to continue watching the rest. I have one of Meghan. It's further down. So let's add that. Okay. After that, you guys could pretty much, if you don't want to listen about the Epstein thing. And after that, there will be no more things about Meghan. Will have to. Everything else will be about the Epstein thing. So if you don't want to listen, you could just stop. But it involves with the Left Behinders, just to let you know. All right, Prince Harry's wife. I know that's right. Okay, so there's that. That's quite the way they responded. There's Harry. That's an ad. The sweetheart neckline is just so stunning on her. Wow, what a photo. Radiant beauty, gorgeous, and there's the rest of the emojis. One more and then that's it. Right, so this is the squad who's talking about I don't know, there must have been something they read somewhere and then the squad just making reference to it. All right, shaking, twerking and popping fleas all over marble for money. Sussex squad reads, will forever remain undefeated. So she quoted this, she grabbed this quote somewhere within something online, which I have no clue where, and she tweeted it, and that was kind of funny. And I do find it funny, but I have a weird way of explaining funny stuff. So you could find the funny thing within that statement. Shaking, twerking, and popping fleas all over marble for money. Sussex squad reads, will forever remain undefeated. So one of the squad must have wrote that somewhere on the internet world. Alright, what happened? I would love to know. I think that was the reason I put it on the list to see if later on she will explain. So we don't know. Alright, now if you don't want to hear anything about the Epstein things, you could stop. Okay, the rest of the video and probably part 2 will be about the Epstein as well. Alright, so let's see here. The name of wealthy pedos are still redacted. Sadly, the person whose name appears most in the Epstein files, Trump, always has his name redacted, even though only the victims are supposed to have their names redacted. There's a place in hell for Trump, Pam Bundy, and Todd Blanchett. I came across a video, I do not have it on the list, where some of the victims did a conference, like it looks like they were outside of a courtroom, but it was somewhere outside where they were mentioning that their names appear unredacted. What this person is saying here, they were very upset about it because they're trying to move on with their lives, but they released their names. So let's listen to this guy. All right, I'm not gonna go in all of the, oh my god, the young kid, Trump with a young victim. Okay, so let's listen to that, and then after that I'm gonna go to the next tweet. I'm not gonna read the comments.
We have some major developments about some of the most serious Epstein files that we've seen thus far, including possible identities of co-conspirators. One of the files relates to that torture video document. Let's break it down. Remember this file? Quote, where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video. An email from Jeffrey Epstein to someone who his name is redacted. Well, Congressman Thomas Massie viewed it today and says, quote, a sultan seems to have sent this. DOJ should make this public. Another document, a, quote, co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein's, potentially. This is a well-known retired CEO. DOJ should unredact this. Why did they redact it? Another document, he says, 4 of the 18 redacted names here were men born before 1970. These are not survivors by any means. Why are they redacted? He says DOJ needs to explain why they redacted unless they were just randoms in a lineup. More and more members of Congress are going to view the unredacted files. I'm trying to send as many file numbers to several members. Stay tuned for more. This is serious.
So there's a possibility some of the names that they kept hidden, he probably getting money for it. Okay, you don't want your name to be out there? Send some money, we'll redact it. Okay, that's the only thing I could make of it. This is why when I in past videos, when I keep on mentioning this particular screenshot, there it is, look on the screen, about Maxwell with little black books, the names of business people, actors, politicians, you name it, anybody who's prominent, who may have a platform, their names were, they have their names, they probably have something on them, so they could do whatever it is that they want. But one thing I was surely convinced, once the American people know you've done things to children, this is where everything ends. Okay, dogs or children, and American will not put up with this. Like I've said in past videos, people outside of the US, you might see a lot of things about ICE, doing things in communities. There's little steps that's going on within the US to put an end to it. At the same time, this is my opinion here, I felt like, not that I agree with it, because we have had so many examples after examples for the country as a whole to get its shit together, but they refuse to see what needs to be done because it wasn't them. They never felt the urge to, to see what was wrong to make it right. And many times I've said, in order for them to understand it, they have to feel it. So right now, the United States is feeling whatever pain that was being done to others they never care about, the US is feeling it. And I think, very sadly to say, not that I wanted the country to go through it, but it was necessary for the country to go through it. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The next one, I think, I don't know if it's the same video, probably different caption. Let me pause this. Holy shit. Rep. Ron Khanna wants the Epstein scandal could shake the British monarchy to its core. This is, okay, again, I have said so many things. One of the things I have said, you could see the parallel between the US and the UK. And then, let's not forget as well, the foundation of the United States is based on the UK system. So, I remember when I first started making videos about Harry and Meghan, and when I started looking into, I was asking myself questions, looking into stuff. There was one article I came across. That article says someone from the UK, I don't remember if it's a business person or a politician from the UK, from the UK came to the US to do something, and could have been a business person, and of all place within the US, it went to the South. I know it's not Florida and it's not Texas. I would have remembered, but it's somewhere within the racist state. Could have been Louisiana, or I don't think it's Georgia. Maybe Tennessee. Those I can't remember, but I remember what I thought, and I was like, this is my virgin mindset of all this debacle, not knowing the full extent of things. But I was asking myself questions, and I was like, of all places in the US, why will they go down south? Okay, it's not like there's no people don't do business down south. But I thought the UK was somewhat progressive to the extent where perhaps, again, I'm not saying my thinking is right, but that's what I was thinking. Okay? Of all places, maybe could have been, okay, if it's they want to do business down south, maybe Texas, Florida, or someplace like that. But that specific state, it could have been Louisiana, and it was very skeptical to me. I never saved that article, and I've mentioned it in several old videos, maybe 5-6 years ago, and I tried to look for it. I could never find it. But anyway, I thought I brought this up because the correlation between the UK and the US is very parallel. Alright, holy shit. Rep 1 Khanna wants the Epstein scandal could shake the British monarchy to its core. Quote, "This is the most vulnerable the monarchy has ever been. This could be the end." That's a quote, by the way. He points to Prince Andrew and Peter Mandelson as proof the Epstein files expose an untouchable elite club. If the monarchy falls, it won't fall alone. The entire transatlantic power class is cracking. Buckle up. Oh my god. There's one video that oh my god, the storm is coming, and I put the UK flag in the back. I'm telling you, there's so many instances since that video. I keep bringing it back, and I was like, maybe this is this. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not surprised at all because the thing that I was seeing was too grave. Okay, so let's listen to him. 2 minutes. I think the next video that I have also has the same video. I may not play it again, but the caption I will read. Let's listen.
Next week.
Mr. Khanna, a British question, if I may. What do you say to the man formerly known as Prince Andrew, and to Peter Mandelson, with regard to giving evidence to your committee?
Mandelson may bring down the whole government, from what I hear. He just engaged in terrible behavior. I mean, the allegations are very serious that he was working for Gordon Brown and then feeding information about UK possibly buying euros and having Epstein trade on that. I mean, it is a deeply, deeply troubling. And, Epstein's, I saw this interview with Epstein's former girlfriend talking about how someone is a loser if they weren't mentioned in the Epstein files. It's a window into the elite impunity, this club. And by the way, I think this is the most vulnerable the British monarchy has ever been. I mean, I heard they were asking the Queen questions about the Epstein class. They ought to ask the King and Queen questions, and maybe this will be the end of the monarchy.
What do you think it could be the end of the monarchy?
Well, if they don't have answers, or if they're implicated with an Epstein class, not a good look for the British monarchy.
What questions does the King have to answer?
Oh, the King has to answer what he knew. What he knew about Andrew. And just stripping Andrew of a title is not enough. I mean, Andrew needs to come before our committee and start answering questions. I mean, look, if you have allegations of raping a young girl, I don't think the appropriate punishment is you no longer get to be a prince. There's got to be more than that.
Do you think the royal family must have known something they're not telling us?
They need to answer, the King and Queen, and I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand the British custom, but what's up with this? That you're going and someone's asking the Queen a question. The Queen is offended that she's being asking a question. I mean, come on. She wears the same clothes. She eats the same food. She's just a human being. She needs to answer the same questions anyone does.
Congressman, what do you think of the Clintons asking for their testimony to be public rather than behind closed doors?
I believe.
Oh damn! I would love to hear more than that. Okay, so there's some of this. You could pause and read. They knew. Alright, so there's more. The real Epstein case file. Oh, there's another video. So let's see it. Epstein boils. It's all about the money mules and descendants. Alright, this one is 1 minute and 35 seconds. So many information. There's what is it? Liz Truss. Let's not forget during the RNC. Okay, you had her, Bojo. Who was the other one? Just look at the screen. They came to support Trump. Okay, so there he is here. What's his name? That's a video. What's his name? Just look at the screen. Okay, maybe it's in here. Victoria Harvey revealed recent photograph from her Instagram. I forgot his name. But anyway, let's listen to this and then I'll go to the next tweet. Okay, there's no sound. Alright, so some people's faces. Wow. There's name. Oh my god. Sarah, Fergie. All these people. Alright, let me get ready for the next tweet while it's playing. Well, I can't even play it properly. Oh, there's that guy. What's his name? Oh shit, there's William. Damn, there's no sound. Okay, that's that actor. Who is this? Epstein Royal. It's all about the money, the meal. There's the queen. Okay, I don't know what this is all about. Alright, let me just stop it because I can't even show the video properly. Next one. Alright, so this is the same thing again, but different caption. U.S. Congressman said, quote, could be the end of the monarchy. Charles need to testify about what he knew, and Camilla shouldn't be offended because people are asking her legitimate question. Alright, we just listened to that. I'm baffled that the UK seems to be taking this Epstein revelation far more seriously than the US. Okay, don't know what to tell ya, but hey, let's drag Charles and the monarchy for covering up Andrew's behavior. The other thing that I feel like with what's going on, because lately I've been talking about Haiti, I feel like the chain, there's something that keep on bringing Haiti down each time they try to to stand up, they bring it down. It might help Haiti as well, but out of that, let's say the US, well, it's failing already. The UK is failing. Let's hope Spain is failing as well. They're probably all connected to some extent, because the US is sending money to Dominican Republic and I think some of the attachment for giving Dominican Republic money is to like do some of the thing that they're doing to Haitians. But if that stop, you know, the thing fall, the monarchy fall, all the system in the European, just, you know, the monarchy system that still exists fell, maybe it might help Haiti. And at the same time, what Haiti needs to look out for, even though whoever is in control collapses, we have to look at other business people who still has power. Other business people who still have power, who could influence, you know, Haitian government. So far, I think, well, let me not go in that direction. Let me read some of the comment and then move on. All right. Seems like double standard. Pile in on one and let others get away with it. Probably not what the victims want, but maybe some don't care about the victims. You think these elite people care about the victims? They don't care. Whatever is here, that's it. Deflection from anyone in power or influence in the US being held to account. The hypocrisy is astonishing with these so-called lawmakers in the US. But we have to understand, this is the thing. During election, and it's hard to trust people, but sometimes the decision, the people who's running, sometimes the decision is very clear, similar to last election. We know Trump was not really good for the position, but there's still a lot of people that voted for him to put him in that position. Okay, it is up to the people to vote for right people like Jasmine Crockett in Texas to put her in office because she's willing to do the job. She's literally in the Senate facing the monster to the position that she has. She's one of many that could be doing the same thing. But so many of us are so freaking blind. We focus on race to get people in office. This is what's killing us. And You think these people similar? Okay, that's the thing again. In the UK and Parliament, they have those elite people who's, and I forgot their name. They're not elected, but because of their social status, they have spot in Parliament where they have a say. Do you think these people who are part of the problem gonna vote to get rid of the problem? And it's the same thing that's happening in the US. We are voting for people who are part of the problem to gatekeep the problem. So one elected official cannot do to get rid of all of the things that's happening. It's a collective voices. New York needs to do its part. Texas need to do its part. Virginia needs to do its part. North and South Dakota needs to do its part. Washington State needs to do its part. California, all the 50 states. When you guys are voting, look at the people who's running for the position. Are they gonna help, save democracy and get rid of these corrupt people? So it's not one person that can do the thing. We keep on blaming. It's our fault as well. We as a people, it's our fault as well. This is why African American, the 92%ers said, look, we're not gonna be going out there and protest and all that. We did our part. We voted for the right person, but you guys were so focused on skin color, and you put the monster who literally told us everything that should prevent him from being in that office, but you guys felt it was the right thing. What do you expect? What did you expect? This is why I keep on saying, I guess in order for you to understand it, you have to feel it, because we try to prevent from this happening, but I guess it was necessary. It was necessary. All right. What did I just read? Deflection. Okay, I read that. That it may be deflection, but the palace gave them something to deflect to with their protection of Andrew. No disagreeing with you. It's just rich considering the obvious proof and knowledge the US has in their possession as to who committed the actual crimes. They should be the ones with their feet to the fire, not the entire royal family. But they act as one. This is why so many Americans who follow Harry and Meghan keep on saying, why do they all team up together? When they see something wrong is happening, everybody shut their mouth. They stuck together. Look at Harry, who tried to speak against it. Look what they did to him. So if they're willing to stick together, they all have to go together. Look who's in freaking office, who's holding the Epstein files. Alright, so let's leave it as that. Okay, so there's that. Read the last one, and then the guy said the end. No more of the conversation. Let's go to the next one. Alright, so this is another one regarding US, talking about the Epstein file. Okay, so this is another elected officials in the US. This is another, what state? Is it from, he's either from Florida or Virginia. I'm not sure which state he represents. Let me pause for a second. It's right there in his thing. They tag him. From Maryland. Okay? So Maryland voted for him. He's been in office quite some time, and he's been doing his job. And I'm glad. I think he was diagnosed with cancer, and I think he beat it. May God continue to protect them, because this is one of the good voices we need in the Senate to do the job. They've been at it. Alright? So let's see here. Breaking. Rep. Waskin says he saw an unredacted email that was released by Trump's DOJ with redactions that shows that Epstein's lawyer were talking with Trump's lawyers, saying that Epstein was a guest at Mar-a-Lago and never had been asked to leave. This contradicts what Trump has repeatedly said. And as well, as much as the top people that are in office, let's say the DOJ, the FBI, and things like that, I think there are some people within the government. They are all of them may not be Trump supporters, but they could, maybe they did vote for Trump, but their values to preserve the truth I think there are some people within those department, okay, who's preserving the truth and prevent Trump from destroying those documents. If you look, there's a video that I had, I'll play it for you. This guy who was working for Trump, or I don't know his position. I think he said his position at that time during Trump's first presidency was working for Trump administration. But even though they were there, they believe in our Constitution, not Trump.
I'm Miles Taylor. I served as the Chief of Staff of the Department of Homeland Security under the Donald Trump administration. I would go into the office, I would read my intelligence brief, and then it was my job to help the Department of Homeland Security to keep our country safe. What we saw week in and week out, and for me after 2.5 years in that administration, was terrifying. We would go in to try to talk to him about a pressing national security issue, cyber attack, terrorism threat. He wasn't interested in those things. To him, they weren't priorities. The president wanted to exploit the Department of Homeland Security for his own political purposes and to fuel his own agenda. The California wildfires. On a phone call with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, he told FEMA to cut off the money and to no longer give individual assistance to California. He told us to stop giving money to people whose houses had burned down from a wildfire because he was so rageful that people in the state of California didn't support him and that politically it wasn't a base for him. The policies at the border. He wanted to restart zero tolerance and separate families. He said he wanted to go further and have a deliberate policy of ripping children away from their parents to show those parents that they shouldn't come to the border in the first place. A lot of the time, the things he wanted to do not only were impossible, but in many cases illegal. He didn't want us to tell him it was illegal anymore because he knew that there were, and these were his words, he knew that he had magical authorities. He was one of the most unfocused and undisciplined senior executives I've ever encountered. I came away completely convinced based on firsthand experience that the president was ill-equipped and wouldn't become equipped to do his job effectively. And what's worse, was actively doing damage to our security. People who are still serving in this administration have said to me, just wait until the second term. It'll be no holds barred. It'll be shock and awe. We'll do what we want. Given what I've experienced in the administration, I have to support Joe Biden for president. And even though I'm not a Democrat, even though I disagree on key issues, I'm confident that Joe Biden will protect the country. And I'm confident he won't make the same mistakes as this president.
There were things that Trump wanted to do. They prevent Trump from doing them because it wasn't right. So that same type of mindset, I think there are some people within those departments, even though Trump put its people as the head of those departments who wants to do some damages, but people under them preserving the truth. This is what really somewhat I think is helping the country to a certain extent for the truth to come out. Let's say, for instance, like in the UK, when the police is investigating things about Andrew, next thing you know, things disappear. They didn't, whatever the thing they were gonna do, what the term, the investigation, next thing you know, they drop the investigation. They don't see anything. All right. If you have people like this, the system will never work for regular people. And this is what allowed these elite people in the UK to continue doing their things. So in the US, even though Trump puts its lackeys to govern or to manage those top departments, the FBI, DOJ, what else? FEMA, whatever you may, I don't even know if FEMA still exists because things had happened. I don't think those people get help. But Trump put his people on top to manage, but people under those Trump people preserving the evidence. This is what's really holding us thing, because what when you see Bojo, that's the guy named Fauvage, now I remember, Fauvage, Liz Truss, and that other guy came to the US to support Trump at the RNC. This is what they wanted Trump to do, to support Trump, and then for Trump to destroy, in my humble opinion, I don't know specifically, but to destroy those evidence. And you see some of those videos that I've been showing you tonight where people, the representative elected officials who saw some of the file saying that it might destroy the monarchy. So when now I could understand why Liz Truss and the others came to the RNC to support Trump, is because they wanted, in my humble opinion, I'm not speaking for them, they probably wanted Trump to destroy those evidence. Meanwhile, people who work under the Trump administration, even though part of the Trump administration with core values, they probably said, no, we're not going to destroy it. Or even if they have one copy, there's probably different copies everywhere. So if Trump, whatever Trump has and he destroyed, there's other copies of it. Okay? So this is what's happening here. They're probably paying Trump, don't put these things out. This is why it took so long for Trump to put it out. But the American people, once you deal with children, I've been saying that, they're not going to let it go. They're not going to let it go. Okay? I've been saying this. Dog and children. You mess up with children, the American people will not let this go. Alright? So I read this. Alright, why did the DOJ redacted this information? Why does it appear Trump may have been lying about asking Epstein to leave? Alright, 43 seconds. Let's listen.
During the period of the 2009 investigation. And Epstein's lawyers synopsized and quoted Trump as saying that that Jeffrey Epstein was not a member of his club at Mar-a-Lago, but he was a guest at Mar-a-Lago, and he had never been asked to leave. And that was redacted for some indeterminate, inscrutable reason. I know it seems to be at odds with some things that President Trump has been saying recently about how he had kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his club or asked him to leave, and this was at least one report that appears to contradict it. But
every time this guy opens his mouth, not him,
2009.
Trump, I mean, every time Trump opens his mouth, it's live. Alright, so there's all of this. Okay, Epstein victim says there are tapes of Donald Trump that will force him to resign from the presidency. He's not gonna leave. He's not gonna leave. Alright, so there's more here. Epstein, more evidence that Trump was the original Jeffrey Epstein whistleblower is coming out from our court document. Trump was responsible for Epstein's first conviction, and Epstein knew and was livid. Okay. Oh, it's too small. I can't even see it. I'll enlarge it when I'm editing. You guys could pause and read it. Let me go to the next tweet. As a matter of fact, I should go to the next. I should start a new video. Alright. So this is another. This is a Republican. This lady, what's her name? Lauren Boebert. She's another Republican. She should not even be there. But after seeing some of those evidence, everybody's disgusting about it. Okay, after Lauren Boebert saw some of the unredacted Epstein file, she sure sounds like she's fed up with the Trump DOJ. Alright, let's listen.
Congresswoman, are you among the members who got to see the unredacted files today?
Yes, I saw some of them, not all of them, obviously. And I'll be going back tomorrow to see more.
Any reaction on what you've seen so far?
I think that there's folks who are definitely implicated and co-conspirators. And, I don't think everyone there that was talking about underage girls being trafficked are victims.
Got it. And do you support any clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell? She was saying that she
I
was...
do not.
Okay.
I think Ghislaine Maxwell should get more time, and she should definitely be in a harsher prison than what she's in. It's
Okay.
absolutely disgusting.
Got it. Thank you, Congresswoman. Congresswoman, are you...
Okay. And she's not that innocent herself. Okay, I think I put this in the video as well. Many times I try to, in past videos, I try to mention her because I didn't have proof, but I knew she was in it. Because there's pictures that were coming out, and I was like, oh my God, how come nobody's talking about her? But I never bring it up because I never had the proof. So she looks like she's part of it. Let's see here. Naomi Campbell invited Jeffrey Epstein to her 25th-year-old Dolce Gabbana anniversary celebration in Paris. Naomi Campbell's representative, Becky Fatemi, personally invited Epstein to an exclusive celebratory event honoring Campbell's 25th-year career with Dolce Gabbana. Epstein said to put him down with 2 other guests. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, it's very small. Can I read? Okay, of course, there's Naomi here. Of course, I will be on the door if there are any problem. My cell is, thank you, sent using BlackBerry. Okay. Jeffrey will come with, okay, it's very small. Jeffrey will come +2 if possible, thanks. Alright, dear Mr. Epstein, on behalf of Miss Campbell, we would like to invite you to her celebratory event with Dolce Gabbana tomorrow evening in Paris. That was back in 2010. From 8:30 p.m. till 10 p.m. at the store at 54, that's the address here, of Paris. We will love the pleasure of your company as we celebrate 25 years of Miss Campbell's career with Dolce Gabbana. Alright, so I'm sure she knew the issues with Epstein. There they are inviting him to come. So there's all of that. I'm gonna start a new video, and the next video we're gonna start with this. Alright, maybe I'll put this at the end. Alright, let it collapse. Pam Bundy says that if we prosecute everybody in the Epstein files, the whole system will collapse. And people are saying, let it collapse. Why would, if these people don't have any punishment, they will continue. And the thing is that if we can enjoy those nonsense with children, alright, if the truth shall kill them, let them die. Alright, if it can be destroyed by the truth, it deserves to be destroyed by the truth. Carl Sagan. Okay, so that will be the last one for this video. The next video, I'm gonna start with this. Alright, this one was a short one. I didn't read much of the. I'm gonna start with this. Okay, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, look at my estimate. Okay, $128.10. Unbelievable. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better